Hey friends, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we're going to make some more page construction for the album that we're currently working on. This is the Magical Winter mini album. It is using the Simply Magical Portrait and the Ornament background design and the Simply Magical Enhancement Pack with the Ornament background design. And this is what we've got so far. I just did a quick little cover embellishment just so that it wasn't like this the whole time we're doing all the page building stuff, because I usually do this like later in the series. But yeah, so today we're going to add another page to the back side of this fin, and we're going to add some other elements as well, I think. So I have a video playlist for this. If you want to start at the beginning, you can. I'll link it up here. It's got the introduction to the templates. There's a video on how I made my workbook, and then I think I need to look. There might be another one, and then there's the cover video, and so on and so forth. So it does go in order. So if you follow that playlist, you won't miss a step. But also too, don't forget there's a giveaway. There's a big giveaway at the end of this video series. So how you enter, starting with the cover video, is you leave a comment below every video and let me know your thoughts. Every video that's in this playlist, and you need to be a subscriber to my channel. And there's 2 big paper collections that I'm giving away at the end of the video series. Okay, what else was I going to tell you? In the description box below, there's also a link to my Etsy shop that is the collection for this album. So it's got the in the collection. So you hit the link, it'll show you which exact listings I'm using out of my Etsy shop for this project. So that's pretty cool. It makes it a lot easier. And then there's also an Amazon link that I try to add everything that I use in that specific list on Amazon for this project. Alright, so there are also timestamps. I don't know, there's a lot. I know, I'm sorry. So I've already prepped everything, because it is Christmas time, and it is helpful. It is helping me to actually get these videos out for you guys, to go ahead and prep everything off camera. It makes my recording a lot quicker. Everything's prepped, but I will explain it to you. I'll tell you everything. Grab a pencil so you can write down everything. We've got a lot of pages again, just like in the last video, but it's not hard. So, out of the Simply Magical Portrait set of templates, I printed page P7 off, and this is the main base page for this album. So I printed this off onto white cardstock. Everything is printed onto white cardstock, and it was like this. I wanted the whole tab because sometimes my printer doesn't print the whole tab on this side, which is fine. So I cut 3 of the tabs off and left 1 of the long tabs on. I scored here, and I put tape on one side of this long tab, and I inked both sides. So we've got that. And then the next thing is, again, so page P10. So like I said in the last video, this is the same page. This is P10 and this is P10. So this is 2 ways you can use page P10. So this is a flap and a pocket. And then this is a little short page pocket. So this is the actual way this page is, what we're getting ready to do today is the way the page was intended to be used as doors. Gatefold doors, to be specific. So I printed page P10 out, and I printed with the ornament background design on it, and it looked just like this. So I cut all the short tabs off of the top and the bottom. I scored both of these, and I split it in half, and I inked both sides, but I put the tape on the plain side. Now you'll notice too, I wrote on here left and right. That way when I go to mat, I know exactly which way I'm going. And I've also taped it back together so that when we put it on the page, it will match up perfectly, and I don't have to worry about it being even or correct. I just used that purple tape, that repositional purple tape. I think I forgot to add it into the Amazon list. I need to remember to do that. But so that's prepped and ready to go. So I used the ornament background on the back side there. And then I printed page P17, which is this. There's a lot going on this page. So it's on white cardstock, and it's just the plain version. And let's see, where was I? And then this part goes here. We're not going to be using this part. I thought I was going to maybe use this part, but I'm not going to. So it kind of stinks that I already cut one of the tabs off, but that's okay. So I'm not going to use these two these two parts, or I'm not going to use this and I'm not going to use this part as well. But I am going to put them over in my Crafty Companion so that I can use them for another time. I'm going to clip them together. Another time, another page, another embellishment, another something. But what I am going to use is this part right here. So I have, once again, I've labeled these so that I know which one is which. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That way when I go to mat, because you got to remember these are handmade templates. These are made by hand, so they're not perfectly perfect, if you guys know what I mean. So like when you go to mat this, these 2 points here may not be exactly the same, but if you know this going in, like the mat for this, so I was just making sure it wasn't backwards. So the mat for this, oh wow, this is really stuck down. It's already marked. It says number 1, so I know this is exactly how it needs to go on there to mat this corner perfectly. So again, they're all slightly, they're not perfectly perfect, they're perfectly imperfect. So I should have shared with you how I cut these out. So I kind of cut it out as a big square, and then I score. I don't cut it as, they're still together, it's like a square. So then I score all the way around, and it's just quicker and easier. And then before I cut it out totally, I tape it. I tape all of the 4 sides, and it just makes it much quicker. It's a much faster way to do all 4 corners quickly. And so then you separate them all up. I scored, right, everything, inked everything, put tape on it, and I taped it to where, I trimmed the corners to where it doesn't overlap. So I'm going to use all 4 corners on the doors. So there's that part. And then there's one more. I think there's one more. Is there 2 more? 1 more. Page E7. I printed twice. And I printed with the ornament background design. So they're both exactly the same. Okay. So there's 2. So I printed this twice, and it has the ornament background design on it. We're not going to be using this part right here. This is the insert for another part. So this is in the enhancement pack. This is page E7, right? So we're not going to be using those 2 parts. I'm going to put those aside. And then we're going to be using these 2 parts. So I cut these apart. Oops. And I inked both sides. We're going to be using these 2. And I inked both sides, and I put tape on the non-ornament background design side. So the plain side has the tape on the tabs. So everything's scored, inked up on both sides. And then for this bottom part right here, these 2 little pockets, I scored everything, inked up the plain side, and I put tape on the plain side on this one as well. So these are both the same. Okay, and that is all we're going to use today. That's it. Okay, the first thing we're going to put together is we're going to take our main base page, and the tab right now is on the right hand side, but I'm going to flip it over so the tab is on the left hand side, and the tape is also on this side. So this will be attached to the back side of the fin. So this is going to go right here. It's going to be attached right next to this little short pocket page. So I'm going to work on it before I install it. So we are going to attach these doors here to this side of this page. So I'm going to take, actually I'm going to burnish really good, really quick. tape backing on the ones. Make sure that your ornament background design is going to be facing the correct way. So since I've got this written on the front, I knew which way it needs to go. So I'm just going to remove the tape backing there, and then don't go over that score. So I'm going to line it up. I'm going to put it right up next to that score. And there we go. I'll try to walk this down without, it's hard, I can't get my head under the camera, so it makes it hard to line things up. Okay. So I've got that side on, and now I need to put this side on, so I'm just going to flip that back. Take the tape backing. If you wanted to glue, if you wanted to do wet glue, now would be the time to do that. And I'm just going to press that down, and I'm going to burnish. Okay, I'm gonna move these little tape pieces for a minute. On the inside, I'm going to use these two. See, this is where I was going to add that pocket down here, but I changed my mind. I like doing these types of things where I add these little flips, so then you can put magnets on there and it'll hold a bunch of like loose things. I like that. So, but what I need to do though is I need to find the center of these, because I didn't do that. So I'm just going to take my centering ruler. It's a Tim Holtz ruler. And I'm going to mark the center there. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to mark the center there. Okay, and then I'm going to mark the center on these two. Carefully. Yep. And I can just come back and erase those. Okay. Burnish this down really quick. Remove the tape backing, and it's since this is on here, it is a direction. I'm gonna have to mat them because this one coming down will be the right way, but this one going up will be upside down. So it may matter, it may not. I might leave it. It may not be that noticeable. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. So I'm gonna just take one. Whoops. And I'm going to match those two marks up and place it down. Just like that. And I'm going to flip this around, do the same thing. In there. Didn't ink that little bitty baby edge there. Okay, same thing. Match it up. Okay, so we'll have magnets holding that down so they won't flip up like that. And so then you can have things, I'm just going to grab a piece of, you can have things in between there. It'll hold it down, it'll hold it closed. They won't fall out either way. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things. Okay. So now I'm going to close this back up like this, and I'm going to put some tape, except I'm going to have it a little bit towards the middle here. Okay. Now I'm going to add these corners. So I'm going to start with number 1. And these are going to get matted, so you don't have to be too careful about how much you can see from this pocket. But I am going to go ahead and take the backing off of both pieces, both tabs there, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to carefully line this up. and hope that I don't get off too much. Okay, so there's one, and I'm gonna do 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now we have that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and install it into the binding. So we're going to take the tape backing off. And then I'm going to line this up. Yep, good job. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, the next thing is we're gonna make these are gonna be inserts, floating pockets, except we're gonna do one with the pocket on the bottom and one with the pocket on the top. Okay, so basically all you need to do is attach one pocket here, one pocket here. And I'm trying to think here what I'm going to do. Okay, so for this one though, you notice on the corners I didn't put tape on the bottom edge because it's not going to matter. You're not going to have that whole thing full with, it doesn't need to go all the way to the bottom of the page. So I'm going to take one of these pockets here and attach it down like that, and then I'm going to take my tape, and this way the inserts won't get stuck on that little lip. Move the tape backing. And close it up. Oop. I scored crooked here, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. I am okay with it. So for this one, I'm going to put it on the top. So if you didn't have an actual background design printed that was a direction, it wouldn't matter. You just make them the same and you flip them whichever way you want to. But I'm trying to think of really quick. If I do this, I might have to do some finagling. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I've been having trouble with my cardstock lately. I don't know if it's just a bad batch of, or a bad section of the ream that I got. I don't know, but it's like acting funny. Okay. So, okay, yep, I'm just going to do it the same way. Put a little bit of tape. Close it up. Okay, so here's my thoughts on these two. One of them I'm going to have holding this closed, like so. And then the other one, I'm either going to have it like this, or like this. I was kind of toying with that idea of having it with magnets, held down with magnets. So we could do that, and it kind of like mirrors, you know, what's going on over here. What do you guys think? You have to let me know your thoughts. It's not set in stone, but for right now, we're gonna leave it in the pocket. So I can move this out of the way. And I think that's all we're gonna do. That's all we're gonna do today. So we've made this pocket. Let me move. I don't need this now that I've got that. Ah, do you see that? I just ripped my paper up. I'm gonna have to fix that right now before it gets bad. I put too much pressure on it. You know, I burnished it down like it was, you know, like it was score tape or something. I'm just going to take some white glue and I'm going to put some right underneath it where it tore. I'm going to smoosh it out a little bit and I'm going to press that down. You would never know that I just did that. Never know. Okay. So if you do it right away, if you catch it right away, or you don't say, I'll do that later, and then it rips more, you know, it looks better. Okay, so we've got the 4 corner pockets on the door, the gatefold doors. We've got these 2 things that are going to be flippy. So, and then we've got 2 inserts. That one's going to be holding that closed, and then this one's going to be holding this closed, whether it's in the pocket like this or it's on top. So let me know what you think in the comments, because we have time on this, because it's actually, this is the last video before Christmas. I'm not sure how many more videos I'm going to be able to put out before the end of the year, but here's where we are right now. And then we've got the back of this page, which we might mimic this, you know, like mirror it, or we might, I don't know, I haven't decided. And then we've got, we don't have to do anything on the front and back covers, on the inside of the front and back covers, but we'll see. It just really depends. So what do you guys think about me doing all this construction part first and then coming back and doing the embellishing? What do you think of it? I think it's kind of a cool, it's different. I used to do this, I used to do it this way back in the beginning. And I kind of got away from that because I like looking at the pretty stuff throughout the whole series and all of that. But I don't know, I just thought since we're not using a collection, we're just using a printable paper, that this might be fun. This might be a good way to go about it. So we'll construct it all, and then we will come back and embellish everything and make more interactive elements, add more pockets, more envelopes and tags and inserts and all of that. So yeah, we still got a ways to go. So what I might do is I might do something on the back here and then leave these 2 alone for now and just go back and do inserts and things. So, but all right, you guys. Be sure to let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. And don't forget to check the description box, and I'll pin everything on the first comment. So if you need to find it easier, depends on which way is easiest for you to find. Don't forget to leave your comment about, you know, for the giveaway. Don't forget to be subscribed to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss a video. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.